Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick intermission while they're on break. I wanted to do a quick update with you guys. First of all, this hearing is frustrating to say the least. And let me just say that I am getting text messages as I'm live tweeting because I'm live tweeting this hearing. Hey guys, I'm live tweeting the hearing and I'm getting text messages from people who are just infuriated that none of the legacy media stations outside of Fox News are actually showing anything that is detrimental to their vision of what their FBI should be, and the fact that there was ridiculous amounts of wrongdoing that took place here. And even Horowitz said that it was murky for them to be able to understand if the actions taken in regards to the Carter Page FISA warrant were biased or not. So they're showing the Dianne Feinstein testimony where literally the only thing that she focuses on is whether or not the investigation was predicated and whether or not the investigation was opened by bias. And I got to tell you, I'm so angry. I'm like literally very angry right now because no matter what side of the aisle you're on, and this is basically at the detriment of the American people, even on the left, who don't really agree with anything that Trump does, who hate Trump, whatever they may be doing, to not show the American people what the FBI did in completely tarnishing, stamping, stomping on, spitting all over an American citizen's rights in the most disgusting and abhorrent way is criminal. It's criminal. For news networks to not cover that because it shows the wrongdoing that occurred under the Obama administration and the FBI is criminal. To not inform the public of what is going on here is disgusting. The press is supposed to be the fifth estate. They're supposed to hold government accountable. It's one of the reasons why I named my company Uncover DC. Because no matter what side of the aisle you're on, left or right, if this sort of thing happens, it needs to be exposed and it needs to be taken care of. And hiding the fact that this happened from the American people just because you can't admit that you were wrong or because you can't have them seeing that you are tyrannical, crazy lunatics it's an affront to everything that we stand for here. Everything. To only show the side of the argument that is painted in your way is it's straight up propaganda. To say again, to bring the impeachment hearing into this and ask Feinstein, asking about whether or not the whistleblower should be forced to testify. It's disgusting. She wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole the information about FISA. 17 disgusting, hundreds of pages of this report, 17 disgusting abuses of power she wouldn't even touch. It says a lot about these people. If there were any doubt what these people are after and what their goals are, not that there should have been, today. To use this hearing to try to taint a legitimate investigation into this being run by the Attorney General and a U.S. attorney in Connecticut as political because you don't like that your friends are going to jail and because you want a stranglehold on power in this country, they all need to go too. Because what they're doing right now is straight up propaganda and programming of a already dumbed down populace who may have had an opportunity to learn that they have given their federal government so much power, it can wield it around in attempts to take away their right to vote. For all of the people that say that they're worried about voter integrity on the left and, equal access to voting and all that nonsense, in actuality, what you are allowing to happen here by completely ignoring what is going on right in front of your nose is you are allowing an out of control, unelected, deep state, which they keep trying to counter, bureaucracy to take your right to vote and flush it in the toilet. Because they tried to engineer an election and then they tried to oust a sitting president right under your nose. And because you're so blinded by hatred which is based on complete and total bullshit that you have been fed by these same people, you don't care. I see people excusing this like it's okay. We have a big problem in this country where when something like this is allowed and people cheer it on. It's disgusting, it's abhorrent, it can't be accepted, and we shouldn't accept it. So I want every single person out there to do your best to take either clips of these hearings or retweet my live thread that I'm doing on Twitter of these hearings right now and make sure that every single American gets to see what the hell these deep state, disgusting, treasonous pricks did inside the FBI to Carter Page, to the next president of the United States, and to General Michael Flynn. Because it's disgusting and it shouldn't be able to stand. And it's up to us to make sure that because these idiots in the legacy media won't show the truth to the American people, we have to take it upon ourselves. It's why I ended up quitting my corporate job where I was making a shit ton of money. It's why I've dedicated every single breath that I take every single day to exposing this bullshit for people to see. It's why I started my own media company, because they need to be replaced, completely replaced and removed. What's happening today in this hearing and how it's being covered and the way these people are covering up this stuff is gross, and it needs to stop. So what can you do today? You can share the hell out of anything you see that's exposing it and make sure the American people at least get to see it. If they see it and they still choose to think that it's okay, that's their fault. That's their problem. Let them be slaves. Over here, we're not slaves. We're not slaves. We're free people with independent thinking minds who care about our country and our government and are going to do something about this to make sure it never happens again anywhere in the hall. We elected these people. They work for us. Even the bureaucrats work for us. The FBI director works for the president who we put in office. These are not your rulers. They do not get to decide what the hell happens and take your will and throw it out the window and step all over it. They just don't. That's really all I had to say today. What's going on with this hearing is gross. I'm going to be doing a video on the FISA report as well as the Barr interviews later. They're trying to taint the Barr investigation. They're trying to ignore. We never should have given them the ability to get FISA in the first place. 10 years ago, I was fighting against the NDAA and everyone said I was a crazy conspiracy theorist, and we were out on the streets fighting against this crap. Because we knew that once you give a little bit of power, they take the rest. It wasn't time for people to be awake yet. The time is now. I'm really glad to hear Graham saying that he wants to get rid of FISA if they don't fix it. They can't have this much power. They will never, if they could do this to a presidential candidate, they will do this to anyone. Adam Schiff is doing it every day, releasing phone records, etc. Stay fired up about this. Don't roll over on it. The time for us to take account, we have to take some accountability in this as well and do our part to get this out. Because it's abhorrent and disgusting. Thanks for listening to me vent.